Hi everyone and welcome! Today we are continuing with our 12 months of Christmas series and we are making the turtle dove. Here is the partridge and the pear we made in the previous videos. I am going to go through my felt collection and try to pick colors that are similar to these two ornaments to maintain a cohesive look. Now that I've selected my felt, I'll move on to my thread collection and choose a few colors that will complement the felt. I will need a few contrasting colors, just like in the picture. For this project, you will need felt, thread, ribbon, this one is 1/8 inch wide, needle, scissors, double-sided tape, stuffing, and the pattern which can be found in the book. You already know from my prior videos that I don't want to damage my book, so I made copies of the pattern. The first thing we need to do is cut out the pattern pieces from the paper. The pictures in the book indicate how many of each piece is to cut out and in which color. Of course, you can customize your colors to match your decor. To cut out the pattern, I like to use double-sided tape to secure the pattern to the felt. This way, the pattern doesn't shift while I'm cutting it out. If I traced it first and then cut it out, my pieces wouldn't be as uniform, and it's important to keep your cutout pieces consistent. This method works great for me. If you are a returning viewer, you're probably familiar with the giveaway. But if you're new here, make sure to check out the rules in the description box below. To qualify, you'll need to answer a specific question from this video. Today's question is, what's your favorite method for transferring patterns to felt? If you take only one piece of advice from this video, it's to use a sharp pair of scissors. Dull scissors can cause frustration, but a great pair makes all the difference. My favorite scissors came in a set I purchased a while back, and I will leave the link to them in the description box below in case you are searching for a good pair. Save the felt scraps for later. We'll repurpose them as stuffing for the bird. Now that all my pieces are cut out, here are the wings in two different colors, the body of the dove, and the feathers. I'll set the wings and the feathers aside and start working on the body first. First, we'll sew on the eyes. I'll use French knots for the eyeballs and circle around them with a few back stitches. To make French knots, bring your needle up through the felt, twist the thread around the needle a couple of times, hold the twisted thread so it doesn't unravel, and push the needle back through the felt close to the same point. Here is one perfect eyeball. When sewing the second eye, make sure your bird is a mirror image so the eyes align correctly when the two sides are stitched together. Next, I'll circle around the eyeball with a few back stitches. My eyeball is yellow and I'm using a purplish thread for the back stitch. But again, your thread colors can match your chosen color scheme. I would love to know if you've started working on this project too. Making one ornament each month is a great way to build a set by Christmas. You can keep the whole set to yourself, but imagine gifting a box of these handmade ornaments. I am sure the recipient would be amazed and impressed. Next, we'll secure the feather-shaped piece on the dove's neck with a few straight stitches. This piece may look white, but it's actually a light blue color. I will decorate it using the same yellow and purple threads as I used for the eyes. After adding yellow stitches, I'll add some purple decorative stitches. Have you guys checked out Corinne's website? She has so many fantastic patterns available. I've already got a few in mind I am going to grab. The polar bear ornament is definitely going on my Christmas tree next year. I'm thinking of making a few extra to give as gifts. Now let's move on to the tail. We'll decorate it just like we did the feather on the neck, but this time we'll add a few French knots. While I still have my yellow thread, I'll sew on the French knots using the same method as before. The size of your knots will depend on how many strands of thread you're using and how many twists you make. Experiment to see what works best for you. Next, I'll add straight stitches in purple to the end of the feathers. With the body decorated, we'll move on to the wings. First, we'll add feathers and decorative stitches. Place the feathers on the wing to ensure proper placement before stitching. I'm using contrasting colors, a brownish green feather with purple thread. You can change the design if you'd like, but I'm sticking to the book's pattern for this set. Each wing has two sides, so we'll decorate the front and back separately before sewing them together. The front features felt feathers and decorative stitches, while the back is decorated with French knots. Next, I'll add daisy stitches for decoration. To make a daisy stitch, bring your needle up and form a petal shape with your thread. And come up again at the end of the petal to secure it with a small stitch. I'll add a few more decorative stitches following the book's pattern, repeating the same process between the other two feathers and on the other wing as well. While I still have the purple thread on the needle, I'll switch to the back side of the wing and add some French knots. Then I'll finish up the front of the wing by adding a few accents with the yellow thread. The wings are almost finished. Just a few more stitches and French knots with the yellow thread on the front and they'll be complete. I've been receiving so many lovely comments from fellow crafters on my videos lately. Your kind words truly mean the world to me, and I just wanted to take a moment to say how much I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for being so wonderful. With the wings decorated, we'll sew them together using my favorite stitch, the blanket stitch. Start by bringing your needle up to one layer of felt to hide the threads and inside. Then bring your needle through both layers, catching the loop of thread before pulling tight. Make another stitch a short distance away, catching the loop again. Keep your stitches the same distance apart to make them look nice and neat. Continue this process around the wing. To finish, push the needle between the layers and snip the thread. Now we are ready to assemble the bird. I am going to attach the wings to the body with small straight stitches, aligning them at an angle to make the bird look like it's flying. Don't stitch all the way to the back of the bird. Leave a small gap. Attach the wing to the body using small straight stitches, ensuring you stitch into the previous blanket stitch for a seamless finish. Before attaching the second wing, ensure both wings are aligned symmetrically. Then follow the same steps used for sewing on the first wing to attach the second one. Finally, we'll sew the two body pieces together. Before I begin sewing, I'll prepare the ribbon for later by cutting about 7 inches off. This is a 1/8 inch wide ribbon, and I'll just set it aside for now. To make the stuffing easier and ensure I can reach the head and the tail of the bird, I'll start stitching at the bottom of the bird, leaving the belly side open for stuffing. I'll begin by pulling my needle through just one layer of felt to hide a knot at the end of the thread. Using a blanket stitch, I'll sew around the edge until I reach the spot where I'll insert the ribbon. If you have been enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It helps a lot and makes me smile. Continue stitching until you are nearly back to the starting point. I am using polyester filling as well as the scrap felt chopped up in small pieces. Why waste it when we can reuse it? Using a chopstick, I'll push in the stuffing to hard-to-reach places. I will alternate between the polyester stuffing and the scrap pieces of felt. Once the bird is nice and plump, finish the stitching and close it up. Let's take a look at these adorable little birdies. Here is the one from the book next to the one I just made. Pretty much twins, right? And here is the very first one I made. I hope you love them as much as I do. And of course, what's the ending without showing off all the ornaments we've made so far? Until next time, happy crafting!